Okay, so when back when Trickster was like, announced and like, there's like trailers and stuff, and then he was added to the game and everything, all that stuff, back when he was released and stuff, people were just like, oh, but he doesn't fit the game. He's too like flamboyant or colorful, whatever the fuck kind of shit. They just, made up any excuse to just be like, I don't like this character. He doesn't work or whatever. And it was kind of just like that literally makes no fucking sense. Like killers can look and act like anything, so like the way the character looks or the way the character acts isn't really like that doesn't really matter all that much. Like, you know, killers can literally look and act like anything, so, that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, there's that whole shit where people are just like, oh, he doesn't make sense, but actually, like, Trickster makes the most sense out of, like, any fucking character, really. Like, I love Wraith, but I feel like out of any character, he doesn't really make sense with his lore being here. Because, like, the entity takes people who are, like, killers and stuff, and he's like, the entity is like, oh, hey, you can do my bidding and kill people. And, like, Wraith, like, his original human name is Philip. It's like, he didn't really want to kill people. Like that, his whole story. If you know his story for Wraith, then it's like, it wasn't his fault. He kind of, it was his boss that was killing people and whatever, and then he kind of just like snapped and killed his boss because of it, and the entity like took him from that and was like, okay, you're mine now. And it's kind of just like kind of weird and out of place a little bit, seemingly. And then also Spirit, I also love Spirit. She's like, ghost girl type of thing. And she also doesn't really make sense to be here because, like, the whole thing is that she watched her dad kill her mom and then her dad killed her. And so I guess she's, evil spirit that came back for vengeance or whatever type of thing. But also at the same time, it's like she never killed anyone. So I don't fucking know. It's kind of weird. And then I would say, I don't know, Hillbilly and Huntress also seem a little, I don't know, iffy, I guess, for their stories. I don't know. Like, Huntress, I don't, like, she didn't really kill anyone, but she does kill people that come into her forest, I guess. So, and she does, like, kidnap kids and, like, she only kills the kids because she doesn't know how to take care of them, though. So it's like she's not intentionally killing kids, so like it kind of doesn't really make any sense. But she does kill like adults and stuff that try to mess with her in the forest and stuff. So like I don't know. Hers is kind of weird, I guess too. And then Hillbilly is kind of like his parents were abusive, and he one day snapped and like killed them, and he killed the police because the police were also shitty and like didn't help him or anything, and so he snapped and killed his parents and the police because fuck them. But you know, I feel like it's more of like I don't know self-defense type of thing. I don't know. I guess he did snap and lose it. Same with Wraith. He also kind of snapped and lost it too. So it's like I don't know. But it seems a little like those are kind of different from being like wanting to kill people just to kill people. Like they killed them like, because they were being shitty. Like Wraith and Hillbilly killed those people that they killed because those people were being shitty. Not because they wanted to, because they were like, oh, just a thought, why not just go kill them? Like, no, it was like self-defense and like trying to protect other people kind of thing. That kind of shit. And then other killers like Trickster, it's because they want to, because they get a thrill out of it, because they get some sort of like rise out of it, they get off on it kind of thing. So it's like, I don't know. I don't think Huntress really kills people just because she gets a rise out of it or whatever. I think she kills people to protect her area and all that. And then Spirit. I mean, it's been a little while since I read her story, so like maybe she. I think did she kill her dad actually? Maybe she did actually at the end of her story. I feel like I kind of remember it or something like that happening, but um, that was still also like would have been like self-revenge or self-defense type of thing, and like hey you killed me, fuck you type of thing, and you were shitty to me and mom, so I'm gonna get rid of you, and that kind of thing. So it's like it's not just like I'm just gonna do it because I want to or whatever. But yeah, usually, you know, if some like in real life there are a lot of killers that do it just because they want to, or they have some anger problems, or like they want attention, all this shit. They're just like sick people. Like, and like Trickster, you know, follows that whole like stereotypical whatever of serial killers in real life. Like, if you look at something like, for example, like, Ted Bundy or Jeffrey Dahmer or something like that, like narcissistic, controlling, wanting to torture people and fucking like gut someone or whatever, like Trickster literally is that, okay? Like that is Trickster. Like he's controlling, you know, getting off on it, and like, he thinks it's fun. Like in real life killers think it's fun. Like, or at least some real life killers think it's fun. Also with Trickster, it's like he, whatever with this kind of shit since he was a kid, and a lot of real life serial killers do have whatever shit like that when they are kids. It starts when they are kids, and they like, you know, hurt animals and other things that are smaller than them, and like can't fight back and whatever. And then they take that opportunity to, hurt something that's defenseless, and it's really fucked up. And then later in life, they move on to bigger targets and end up with killing people. And that's, I mean, Trickster, he didn't really kill people as a kid, but he still had that, like, headspace and everything. Like, if you read his lore, it's like he was, as a kid, he was, fucked up still, you know? And then he grew up and kind of got into some shit and was like, oh, I'm gonna start killing people now because I like that. And, that's how a lot of real life killers are. So, like, if anything, Trickster makes the most sense for this shit, you know? And I mean, like, maybe you could use other DVD killers as examples of other shit, but I don't know. I don't know if, like, using DLC characters, like, because, like, Dead by Daylight, they have their original characters and stuff, and whatever, their original killers and everything, and then there's the licensed killers, like, Ghostface, Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, and stuff. They're all, like, licensed characters. So, like, I feel like those are separate. Like, just ignore the licensed characters. Like, ignore Demogorgon too. Demogorgon's not even a human, so you can also just ignore him or it for that reason too. But their original characters like Wraith or Hillbilly or Huntress or Spirit, Nurse. I mean, even Nurse is kind of like also, I don't know, kind of a weird one to put in here. Like, I mean, I guess she did kind of lose it in the, you know, hospital and stuff and kind of lost her mind there, but I don't know. I feel like a lot of their characters are kind of like that, I guess. And then also, Doctor, that fucking freak, also kind of follows the whole, like, in real life with some serial killers. They will literally, go get into like the medical field and like kill people on purpose, like overdose people and stuff, and like learn whatever tools that they can use and like torture people. So, doctor makes sense because like he used the medical field to like start torturing people, and you know he wanted to kill people and torture people because he liked it. Like, that's what real life serial killers do. So he also makes sense. Also, I hate doctors, so he's fucking creepy. Also, even if you don't like, even if like, you don't have that whole thing where you hate doctors and stuff, like, doctors just in Dead by Daylight, Doctor is just fucking creepy. Like, I hate him, like, regardless if I don't really like doctors. Like, I have a whole thing of why I don't really like doctors and stuff. Because, you know, shit that happened when I was a kid where I had to, like, go to the hospital for whatever shit, and they stabbed me so many times with needles, and I would try to fight them and stuff. And so I hate hospitals and doctors and stuff. So I'm just like, I want to stay away from them. But yeah, anyways, back to Dead by Daylight with like Doctor. Like, he's still creepy, even if you don't have that whole thing of not liking doctors in hospitals. Like, he's still like the creepiest bitch ever. But yeah, I think those two make the most sense for Dead by Daylight and like killers and stuff. Like, they literally get off on torturing people and killing people, so, you know, it kind of makes sense. But yeah, like the whole thing with Trickster, like, he always loved attention. That's also another thing that, like, I feel like a lot of serial killers are like, love attention and like all eyes on you, everyone's paying attention to you, like everyone's talking about you, all that shit, everyone's thinking about you, and like that's the whole thing. Like they also often like that too. So it's like, you know, what the fuck too. And then like, oh, if you don't do this or that for them, they're gonna get mad and like, you know, hurt you and shit. So, you know, but yeah, it's kind of just like he makes the most sense for this shit. Because a lot of killers are like that in real life. Also, other original characters, I guess we could look at. I kind of want to look at Trapper because I feel like he doesn't. Like, I think he kind of also had some shit where, like, you know, I guess his lore. Um, let's see, so like he idolized his father and stuff, I guess. And then it was like, you know, I guess he snapped and whatever. Or I think his father snapped and whatever. And okay, so his father became a murderer, I guess, and then it went to Trapper, and then he also killed people, I guess. So, I guess it passed down to him. That's just like from a quick read of his lore there. And then Hag, I guess her whole thing is, I think it was like she was tormented by some people, I'm pretty sure. And then there was some like magic or voodoo or whatever that happened. She was like, yeah, she was like tortured by some people and they were gonna eat her because they were cannibals. And that's why she's so skinny. She's just skin and bones and stuff. And then there was I think she like tried to get away, but there was like visible bones and stuff and whatever. And like she tried to get away but couldn't. And then there was like some magic or whatever that she did, and then she came back, and then she wanted revenge. So I mean, I feel like with her, it makes more sense with like the revenge thing. Like something about Hag's thing makes more sense for this than Spirit's. Like I get Spirit, like something about it is different to me with the whole revenge thing. Like I don't know, like something about it's kind of different. Like they both got like you know killed by whatever people, and then they like came back and wanted to like get back at them. But it's like I don't know. I feel like Spirits is a little more like innocent seeming. I don't know. Like Hag literally did a ritual or whatever to come back to from the dead and get these people. I don't think Spirit chose to come back. I might have to look at her lore again, but I don't really remember. And then Clown is there another original character that they have. But like I don't know. I feel like he's just, oh hey creepy clown. And then like I think what was it? I think I don't think I ever read his lore, but it looks like there's a lot here and he yeah, seems like he was probably, you know, abused or bullied or some shit and like yeah, I don't know, something about that. I think it was I think he was like abused or whatever, and then did some shit. I don't remember. Also, Plague. Plague. I don't like something about her too. It seems like it doesn't really like. She wanted to protect the people. Like she was in a cult or whatever, and she was like the high priestess or whatever kind of thing. And like, there's a plague that happened, and then uh they all got sick and she was like, "Oh, I'm gonna save you by doing this thing." And she got sick and then like everyone died. And I guess like she came back and uh I don't know, some whatever about her, I don't know. It's like I guess the mass. But like she didn't mean to kill everyone, right? Like I don't think she meant to kill all of her people. 'Cause why would she want to do that on purpose? So that's like, why does the entity want to take her if she didn't mean to kill all the people that she killed? Like she didn't do it because she wanted to. She did it by accident. So it's like I don't I don't know. But like, yeah, I don't know. Something about that is like kind of weird. And then like Oni, he makes sense because his dad was like, you know, being shitty to him, and like basically everyone there turned their back on him, and he kind of like lost it and was like, everyone's being like everyone like the life I knew, everyone's being horrible, and you know all this shit, and then he kind of just lost it and became possessed, basically. So yeah, something about that's kind of, that makes sense, I guess. And then Deathslinger. I mean, he was like he did live in, you know, the Badlands and stuff where it's all like whatever and Western shit, cowboy shit. So, I mean, that's already kind of like, you're gonna probably be already a little fucked from that. But yeah, I think it was, yeah, his dad also kind of, you know, started him in all of this shit too. So yeah, they kind of got him on this path of not being so great, and he, was killing people and stuff like that. So he already had some stuff going on where he was already like, you know, hunting people down and shit. So like he kind of makes sense, I guess. And then fucking Blight, I think is just some weird ass shit. Like he kind of was doing experiments and shit, and then like did experiments on himself and then turned into like this twisted thing, I guess. And I don't know. lost himself and now he's just some thing here. I never really read his lore either, but I guess that's kind of just like what happened, and so now he's just like this little fucking freak, I guess. And then the twins, they were, I think they were abandoned. Yeah, I think they were abandoned by their parents, and they kind of just, kind of like Huntress, I guess. Huntress wasn't abandoned, but her mom died, and so she had to take care of herself. But these guys were abandoned and then had to take care of themselves. And I guess that fucks them up, and now they're just killing people. I don't know. They started killing people. I think it's also like, yeah, they like, people were mistreating them, and so they were killing people because the people were mistreating them too. I think that's what it is. I don't think I really read their lore, but um, I think maybe I watched a video where someone explained all the lore and stuff, but I kind of forgot because I don't really care all that much about twins. Um, so I'm kind of just like, whatever. Dredge, I don't think I read that thing's lore either. It's just some weird monster thing, I guess, and it's, just a freak, I guess, that kills people, little monster things. I don't know. I don't think it really matters. It's not like it was like a human thing before. Artist is another one. I kind of skipped her and went straight to Dredge instead. And then there's also Knight and Skull Merchant. And then there's a new one here. It's a robot. But like, I don't know. Or I don't know if a robot really counts. So I don't know. Artist, I think. I never read her lore, I don't think. But yeah, I just know she was an artist and she did like paintings and sketches and stuff and whatever. But also, so like this thing says she grew up carrying the guilt of her mother's sudden departure, and her father blamed her for her mother's abandonment. So yeah, it's another one of those ones where the parents abandoned and were shitty to their child, and yeah. So I guess that kind of makes sense for her being a little fucked up there, and you know that kind of makes sense there. I'm gonna have to read more of the characters' lore, I guess, but this whole video is just like the entire point is just like Trickster makes sense of being here, you know. And then like the Knight, I didn't watch his or I didn't read his stuff either, but you know, it's whatever. It's fine. I don't know. It's, I guess, whatever. And Skull Merchant, I don't know. It also like, it seems like a lot of the characters' lore from recent things are like a lot longer and there's a lot more stuff put into it. But yeah, I don't know. I guess it looks like she was fighting some stuff and got messed up from it. I guess, that still also makes sense. So, you know, I guess that's whatever. And then the whatever thing is like a robot, I guess. And, robots can be made to be evil, I guess. But also this one says, I think they like got messed up or some shit. I don't know. But yeah, it's, you know, I don't think I really need to add in monsters and stuff because they're a little bit different. We're mostly talking about people here and how like, Trickster still makes sense because in real life it makes sense, right? There's people like this in real life, so that makes sense. And I mean, like, yeah, there's people in real life that have like gone to kill someone for revenge, whether it was because that person that they killed someone else or did some other horrible thing. Like, there's people that have gotten revenge for stuff like that, and I don't know, like, because there are some examples of people getting revenge and then they, like, never do it again. Like, they killed this person for revenge and then they never did it again, and so I don't think I can count them really as, like, necessarily a murderer, because, like, they, if that thing never happened, if that person never did that thing, this person wouldn't have killed them, so it's like, they never had those thoughts or those feelings before, so, and they will never have those thoughts or feelings again, because, they probably won't have to deal with something like that again, like, they might not have to deal with that, so, you know, there are things like that that have happened, so it's like, like with spirit and wraith and stuff, it's kind of just like, you know, they, they killed this one person because they wanted like revenge or whatever, and then they moved on. Like, that could very well happen, right? Like that stuff has happened in real life, so that kind of like doesn't make sense why the entity would pick race or spirits. Like I love them both, but it still just kind of doesn't really make any sense as in like real world scenario type of thing. So I don't know. That's kind of just my whole thing here. But yeah, like Trickster does make sense. He does fit into the Dead by Daylight thing because he does it because he wants to, not just for any logical reason. He just wants to do it because he likes it. Like, it makes him feel nice for fucking some weird reason, and yeah, that's the scary part, is that people, for some reason, like to hurt other people. Like, they get joy out of it, and that's the fucked up part. So, Trickster makes sense for this shit. So I should have made this video when he came out, but it's, how long has it been since he has been out? Like a year or two or something like that. I don't remember when he came out, but yeah, I think it was like last year that he was added. So, you know, it's been a little bit, but I still feel like this video, like, because people were being stupid back then, it's like, if you just watch true crime videos or listen to a true crime podcast or anything like that, then you would know, like, this makes so much sense. It's literally, like, perfect for this because, for reasons I just explained. But yeah, this video is kind of long, so I should, you know, stop talking and end it. So yeah, anyways, I guess that's it for this video. So, bye.